The former Deputy Prime Minister is a leading campaigner for another vote on EU membership and told Times Radio, "The Brexit agenda was a pack of lies. What happens if Boris goes? Does Brexit go? Throw the whole thing up in the air." Mr Johnson's premiership is hanging by a cliff edge and facing growing pressure from Tory backbenchers since he attended a lockdown-breaking drinks party at number 10. Many MPs are predicting that it won't be long before he will face a leadership contest. Mr Heseltine continued, "Will the majority now of people who believe Brexit was wrong, have another chance to express their view?" Brexiteer Peterbone warned it could be a possibility too. He said, "It's another reason why my colleagues are rallying around the PM." And from the opposition, Lord Adonis also hinted Britain could rejoin the EU without Mr Johnson. He said, "You never know how quickly things can change." International Trade Secretary Anne-Marie Trevelyan joined numerous leading politicians yesterday during a virtual meeting of the Ottawa Group. The group is made up of World Trade Organization members who want to urgently modernize the organization to promote the benefits of free trade across the planet. It works to remove trade barriers and support our people and is seen as an important weapon in Brexit Britain's armory to help it prosper outside of the EU. This cements Britain's place on the world stage by being part of an influential group helping drive the planet's economic recovery from the coronavirus pandemic. R.I.P. Meatloaf. Love and prayers to all his family and close friends. He once turned me upside down in a Chinese restaurant in St John's Wood. Anne Widdecombe, former Tory MP for Maidstone, and latterly Brexit Party MEP, has lamented the lack of discipline in the Conservative Party which has led to the current state of near chaos, asking, "What are the whips doing?" Mr Johnson's political future continues to hang in the balance this week after his admission that he attended a lockdown-busting drinks party in the Downing Street Garden on May 28, 2020. Ms Widdecombe said it would be a very disastrous way to go. She told the Daily Express, "Are we going to plunge the country into 3 months of leadership uncertainty when we're negotiating with the EU, over Northern Ireland, when we're trying to get the economy up and running again, after a global pandemic, when we've got NHS waiting lists around the block 5 times? This is not the moment to say that for 3 months, we don't know who the Prime Minister is. How do we negotiate with the EU without knowing who the Prime Minister is going to be?" Dublin Port Chief Executive Eamon O'Reilly has said Brexit has ended the British land bridge transit route. Full-year figures on freight volumes through Dublin Port Company in 2021 show a dramatic fall in lorry traffic with British ports, the Irish Times reports. The Irish Times said that the state's busiest port recorded a 9% drop in the number of roll-on, roll-off, row units, equivalent to 99,000 trailers, last year, while the number of lift-on, lift-off, low units increased by 10.2%, or 43,000 containers. Mr O'Reilly said, "The land bridge has gone. It hasn't re-emerged. I thought it would, but it hasn't, and there's nothing to suggest it is going to re-emerge in my mind because the British have yet to introduce import controls. I don't see the land bridge recovering." Overall freight volumes passing through Dublin Port fell by 5% due to freight unit volumes, with Britain declining by 214,000. British Volt has received £2.5 billion in investment to produce electric vehicle batteries in Northumberland. The electric battery start-up secured £1.7 billion from Tritax Group, a real estate investor, alongside the fund manager Urban. It also received hundreds of millions from the government, in a major boost to the UK's bid to develop a domestic supply chain. Speaking to Sky News, Business Secretary Kwasi Kwarteng said, "This is something that is happening all over the world. Manufacturing countries like ourselves, France and Germany, want to be able to manufacture batteries for electric vehicles. The announcement is hugely significant. It creates 3,000 immediate jobs and an extra 5,000 jobs in supply chains. The UK currently lags behind the rest of the world, with Germany beating Britain to strike a deal with the Tesla chief executive Elon Musk and build Europe's first Tesla gigafactory. Mr. Musk blamed uncertainties over Brexit as the reason for picking Berlin over Britain, saying that Brexit made it too risky to set up its European gigafactory in the UK. But now, the UK could be set to overtake. The UK government has decided to diverge from European Union rules over gene editing, which will enable scientists in England to undertake research and development using genetic technologies, including gene editing. The Department for Environment, Food Rural Affairs, DEFRA, unveiled its plans on Thursday and highlighted how the change was because of Brexit. They said, the rule changes, made possible by the UK's departure from the EU, will mean that scientists across England will be able to undertake plant-based research and development, using genetic technologies such as gene editing, more easily. Outside the EU, the UK is able to cut red tape and set better rules and regulations that work in the best interests of British farmers and scientists. The legislation has been welcomed by scientists. Jeremy Irons shot down a Remainer who claimed that Brexit could spell economic disaster for the UK, despite voting to stay in the EU himself, saying he thought there would be a few rocky years either way. Jeremy Irons stars in a new film being released on Netflix today. He is starring as former Prime Minister Neville Chamberlain in new film Munich, The Edge of War. Mr. Irons said he believes there should be a more positive view of the man who was replaced by Winston Churchill during the war. Speaking to the Irish Times he said, "I'm not proud of our dirty washing being hung out as it is around the world for people to see. We've lived through a time where we've all lived beyond our means and we have to pull back from that and keep united." He also dismissed claims of economic disaster, saying that the UK was likely to experience a rocky few years whichever way the vote went. Good morning from London. I'm Rachel Hagan. I'll be bringing you all the latest developments on Brexit for the next 8 hours. Please feel free to get in touch with me as I work if you have a story or tips to share. Your thoughts are always welcome. Email, rachel.hagan@reachplk.com. Twitter, @RachelHagan.